This is DearPsychopomp. Let's talk about death. The podcast where we peel back the veil, sip tea with the reaper, and get cozy with the inevitable. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I'm your host, Anne-Marie, your slightly morbid death-conscious guide through the underworld of mortality, grief, and all the beautiful, messy things that the universe gives us. But before we dig in, a couple of important things. First, I am not a therapist, counselor, psychic, or priest. I'm just a death doula talking about death, dying, and all the shadows in between. This podcast is not a substitute for professional advice, support, or services. And please take care of yourself and seek help from licensed professionals if you need it. Second, some of the topics we explore can get heavy, emotional, or triggering. If anything hits too close to home, please step back, take a breath, or come back when you're ready. Your well-being is what matters most. Now, if you're still with me, light a candle, make peace with your demons, and let's talk about what really matters. Because death is just the beginning of a really weird, wonderful conversation. I've known loss for a long time. I've grieved many times. And I'm so sorry to say that it doesn't get easier to grieve the more you have to do it. But you still have to do it every time. And this is exactly what I'm doing. As they say, pain demands to be felt. The human body can only take so much stress on the day of a life-changing moment. And in true Shakespearean fashion, it's almost worse the next morning. I wake up oblivious to the world while I gather my thoughts and herd the cats. And then I get hit by another wave. The pain and the remembering. Oh right, my heart hurts and it's all consuming. And then this guy decides to dress in that specific shade of funeral gray, and I think, how fitting. Even the weather mourns with me. Thanks, universe. I see you too. And I've been having one of those days. The kind where your soul feels like it's been left out too long in the sun. It's lost its luster, its shine. Feels dull. And even your dried out bones seem to sigh. And it was as if the floor was stolen from under my feet. I landed hard and fast and wondered how I even got there. And more importantly, where do I stand in the world now? I felt hopelessly alone and insignificant. This is a day where grief isn't a visitor, more so like a roommate who's late on rent, leaving its socks on the floor and whispering in your ear, when all you're doing is trying to concentrate on something mundane, something, anything like desperately pretending to be okay, pretending to be who you were 2 days ago, just so you could start over again and not have that pain. And it makes me want to hide. Not dramatically, mind you. No storming off or theatrical exits, as fabulous as that may feel. Just a quiet vanishing. An Irish goodbye out of grief and into dissociation. Give the old finger guns and slowly dissolve into the wallpaper of existence. Just to become a shadow in the corner of the room, politely grieving where no one could see me flinch. Trying to be silent as I cry, so as not to upset the ghosts that now haunt me. I'm trying to be as invisible as a cat's whisker on a white blanket, and it's not working. But then I remembered, well, first of all, Anne-Marie, you're a death doula. What does your training tell you? And that just reminded me that everyone does this. We all tuck our sorrow into our sleeves, smile with jaws that ache from clenching, and nod politely while our hearts scream in Morse code. We are a species of masked mourners, dancing through the fire with the expected grace. And yet, healing doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in the messy, inconvenient collisions between one aching soul and another. And it happens when someone says, I see you, and you don't look away. I think about my dear friend dying of stage 4 cancer. He emailed me asking if he could call me just to cry. Not talk, not vent. Just cry. And he did. Two strangers thousands of miles apart. And I cried with him. I cried for him. And I cried for my own selfish reasons. For the unfairness of it all. For the fear of losing someone who made the world feel less cruel. And for the ache that had nowhere else to go. That moment, two people sobbing into a phone. No solutions, no platitudes or cliches, no recycled comfort, just raw, unfiltered grief. And it was profound. And it was so healing. I can't describe how healing it was. And I think about that moment, and I'm not hiding anymore. My grief is not a blemish or something to be repaired. It is a badge. It is a testament to love, to loss, to having felt deeply, and it is the echo of something sacred. I will not wear a mask to keep others comfortable. Let them face their own demons. Let them project their fears. Let them take responsibility for their own emotions. I'm not here to be palatable. I'm here to be me. And if you're listening, if your heart is heavy or your eyes are stinging with unshed tears, cry with me. It's okay, I'm here with you. Let it spill. Let it flood the room. Let it wash over us like truth. And then after the tears, don't forget to listen. Not to the noise of the world, but to the quiet wisdom of your own body. Grief lives in the muscles, in the breath, in the way your shoulders kind of curl inward like a question, and your body knows what it needs. Rest, movement, stillness. Let it guide you. And your heart, it may feel shattered, but it still beats. Put your hand over your heart. It still whispers. It still reaches for light, even in the dark. There is resilience in grief. Not the kind that roars, but the kind that hums quietly beneath the wreckage. The kind that gets out of bed, brushes its teeth, and chooses to live again, even when it doesn't feel like living. This is me. Grieving, healing, unmasked, listening for the universe to reply back. And before we end, before we wrap ourselves back in the noise and the motion of the world, can we just be here together? No words, no explanations, just a moment. And close your eyes if you like. Take a deep breath. Not the kind that pushes the pain down, but the kind that invites it in gently and says, you're allowed to exist. Feel your lungs fill, like a flower opening up. Feel the weight settle in your chest. Let it be. You're not alone in this space. We are stitched together by the threads of ache and healing, and by the silent language of survival. I don't know the shape of your grief. I don't know its history, its flavor, its cruelty, but I know that it lives in you. And my heart aches for it, for you. Not in pity, but in reverence. And you're carrying something immense that should not be minimized. Just because you carry it well doesn't mean it isn't heavy. And you're still going. You're still here. You're still with yourself. If I could, I would hold all the silence that you need. I'd hold that with you for just a little bit longer. Let it stretch across the space between us like a thread of shared understanding. There's something powerful in stillness, isn't there? The kind that just asks for presence, even in digital form. I feel the weight on your soul. And I'll stay, unmoving, unflinching, until you're ready to take the next step, however small. You can't fail at this. You either grow or you learn. Thank you for listening to this week's episode and grieving with me. I hope it was a chance for you to feel seen and sit with yourself for a little while. If this episode touched your heart, please hit the like button. Share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If your platform allows, please leave a comment and let me know what you think. Your support keeps this podcast going. You can find me online at DearPsychopomp.com or contact@DearPsychopomp.com. Death isn't a secret. Let's talk about it.